This episode I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to be meeting up with Wally from Beach River Landscapes and get to know this pro. Time to go.
Do you need some help with your luggage, sir?
I'm good. How often do you come out to jobs like this or get called for jobs like this?
I mean, not too often, but this is all just like post-hurricane stuff. There are people that still have stuff from the hurricane that came through that's still sitting there, like this right here. But this is probably the messiest call out I've had in a long time. So
how do you handle something like this? You said you would sub out like all this cleanup?
yeah, this tree that's probably about 40 feet. A little over 40 feet, so sub somebody out because you're going to need a climber. I mean, we can drop it if it were at the roof line, we could drop this, but being that it's over a structure, we don't touch anything that's over a structure. We sub that out. So something like this, like I told him on the phone, will first of all, because there's a limb on the roof over there.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
Told him before we get started, we would just need in writing that there's already tree debris on the roof. So any tree damage that happens, we will not be liable for it. He actually appreciated that. So he was like, he said that he really liked, the thought, the attention to detail and, all that kind of stuff. So.
And you said you've experienced, I thought I overheard
yeah,
you said you had
experienced that
like
before.
That before, so you
yeah.
learned, you lived and
yeah,
learned,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, man. So, not doing it, actually doing a favor of all things, and ended up having to pay for it. So if there's tree debris on top of a roof and they want us to do it and we agree to do it, it's only post signing something that says we're not responsible if any further damage occurs, because we could be pulling that limb off and there could be something buckling already and that limb falls through the roof and that happened because that limb already fell on the roof and it just hasn't been moved yet.
And they blame you.
Oh yeah, so
they don't know.
Yeah, so that's that. And I told him that we'll do the tree as a separate bid, and he liked that because he actually wants the bank to take it out. They haven't said yes or no yet. That way, in case they don't agree to it, he knows what just this cleanup's gonna be. So probably what we'll do is we don't own a chipper, but we do own a dump truck, so we'll probably rent a chipper. But something like this, though, we'll probably end up needing like a 12-inch chipper, only because of some of this stuff right here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to put that in the bid. I never mark up the chippers, like the chipper rental. I don't mark that up, because we'll include like us going to pick it up, the fuel to run it,
the time, the labor.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to say if they charge us $400 to rent it for the day, I'm not charging them $600 for the rental.
Right.
Like whatever it costs us to rent the machine, like you pay that part, but you're going to pay us to operate it, go pick it up, and the fuel for it. So we'll probably get a chipper, and that way we could probably fit this entire job in the dump truck if we had a chipper. Otherwise, this would be about 5 trips to the dump. And the dump is 45 minutes from here.
Oh yeah, so you'd be killing it in labor.
So 1 trip.
What do they just want to clean this up so they can try and auction it off or something? Sell it?
He said bank repo, so
they got to make money somehow.
He told me it was a bank repo, which I don't even see how. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a
bank
fixer
repo,
upper.
So they don't want any landscape or anything done. They just want the debris cleaned up. So that's all we're gonna do.
So how would you even approach a property like this?
Well, first thing we do obviously is you find out what's yours and what's not yours. Then the next thing we do is find out if anybody, like there's a lot of homes here, and so this is a common area property, but a lot of people, even with common area properties, will still do their own landscaping or their own maintenance inside of that area. So the first thing we do is eliminate anything that we're not responsible for, things that we are responsible for. Then I'll get on findmylot.com. I love that site, man. That site's, it's so accurate, it's so killer. So what I'll do is like visiting the property, because it's basically like Google Earth, and then you can map out, use Geo and map everything out, and it'll tell you how many square feet, how many acres it is. So I'll know that this fence right here, I'll know exactly where the property line is, looking at it from the aerial view on the app. So I'll just sit there and take the markers, and like how there's a fence that sticks out in the water and goes down, I can see it, and I'll be able to like go around everything. I'll measure everything up. That's what we'll do on the entire property, and then we just figure any obstacles, a bunch of trees or a bunch of beds. Like out here, it's nothing but just mowing and weed eating along the bank. It's not heavy weed eating.
It's just along the edge, so you don't fall in with the mower.
Yeah. So it's just heavy. Yeah, we usually, if the ground is solid, we figure, all right, we're gonna have to mow about 2 feet off the water. So that's gonna be some good weed eating, because this is probably 1,500 feet of weed eating. They have to walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
So we just figure all that in, and then we just go into our calculation that we all individually have when we go to calculating per man, per hour kind of stuff.
This is beautiful, man. Like, it's windy, but it feels great.
It
cools you off, I'm sure, in the summertime. You get a great view.
Yeah, it's all about the view, man. The view makes it easier.
Yeah, man. You gotta exactly. It makes it easier to do. It's like you're actually looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, instead of like working in a concrete jungle, man, it's nice when you can break out, have a lake view. You got like a crosswind that's always here.
Yeah.
So that's when you have fun. We're gonna come out here and check on things. That's what we're doing. This thing, man, this gets so much work done, it's insane.
How big is
It's
this?
an 18-foot dump. Yeah, the dump on this is incredible. So, yeah,
That'd really come in handy.
So much work done with this, man. It's ridiculous. I think it's a little over, it's about 7 feet, little over 7 feet wide, and 18 feet long. And you see the walls, with the wood up there, it kicks it up to about 5-foot walls. So the amount of work that's done in this, I know Stan had done on a 5 things that you need, kind of pieces of equipment. For us, if you want to do in really commercial landscape, like you have to have a dump truck. And anybody that argues with that can argue with that, but for us, like you have to have a dump, at least like a dump trailer or a dump truck. So I like having the dump truck. It's like everything's just compact, it's together. You're not having to have an extra vehicle. It's just easier to have, and especially when you park it at a shop, you're taking up way less room. It's just a self-contained unit, as opposed to being 40 feet long and then having a whole separate truck that you have to deal with. And then the nightmares that can come with towing something that's loaded down. So this is just way easier, way more compact. So I'm excited though, man, because that's gonna look pretty sick when it's done. We're doing a gray the closest we can get to match the trailers. on the the trailer. So
Yeah.
we couldn't find the exact code, so we ended up he ended up finding something that was pretty close, and it's going to look as close as it can get to match the trailers. For me, it's fine because I like gray. As long as it's silver and gray and Jaguar teal and white, like, I'm good to go. So any of the variations in that is fine. So I just think it's going to look dope. So once it's done here, we're going to get tires for it, and then have my guy put a wrap on it, and it'll be good to go, man.
This is this is what you're just saying is kind of what he wanted you to draw up a plan for,
Yeah.
right? He just wanted to spruce it up.
Yeah, we already gave them the maintenance bid, but they want landscape implementation as part of the landscape bid. All right, what would you do over the next 3 years, and what would it look like, and how much would it cost us? And once we get that, then we'll figure out who the landscaper is that we're gonna pick. Normally, this stuff is like thousands of dollars worth of time. If I didn't feel confident we were gonna get the property, to be honest with you, I would not waste this much time out here. There's just no way. This is be the third time I've been here, and I've made a lot of recommendations. So I have to like go around the buildings and look at the environment, and then strategically plan what plants should go where. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of time, and like you charge for that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it. If we don't get the property, then that's on me. I can't be upset at anybody but myself. If we do, then it'll be worth it.
So that was awesome going to all those commercial properties with you today. And I really, for someone that potentially thinks about getting involved in commercial stuff like that, it was really invaluable for me. And one of the things that I noticed that I know we talked about before was the relationships that you have. You know, I didn't record the conversation between you and your the property managers because that's not appropriate, but
That would have been awkward.
but I was able to experience it nonetheless. And my impression is the relationship that you have with them. And like I've said to you before, it's almost like having a homeowner relationship, but they're a property manager, but you still have that same homeowner relationship with the property manager that manages these giant, commercial properties, condos and things like that. And that's just, it seems like that's the secret sauce, like for being able to get those. So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of ask a couple final questions, like how long did, I know Beach River has only been in business for a few years, right?
Yes, technically the third year.
Right.
Yep.
But before that, you were involved in another business for how many years?
Since 2000, so for 9 years. Yeah.
So did you deal with some commercial properties through that to kind of get your feet wet a little bit too, or did you really just jump right in Beach River like that?
Yeah, no, I did a big place that was like as big as one of the ones that, one of the bigger ones, and it was the only one that size that I dealt with, but I did not have the rapport with the property manager because it went through a board member, through a friend, and there was the property manager made the ultimate decisions, and we just never clicked right off the bat. There was just a really, there was a real big disconnect and a lot of disrespect. It was one of those things where it was a property manager that just treated everybody like the hired help, if you know what I mean. So, and then I did a couple other small apartment complexes as well, and they were just really bad because they didn't pay their bills or anything. So it was just a bad experience that I had before with a few of them. So, but then there was a good 7-year difference, probably 6-year difference between doing those and then getting back into it. So a lot changed, a lot changed.
So then a lot changed with what? Like with you, as far as your mentality and approach to that?
Yeah, the whole mentality changed. So, and you actually nailed it, because it's the way that I try to describe it is one way, but you nailed it, yesterday when it was like basically the same mentality you have with a homeowner. As far as the relationship goes, that camaraderie, that more intimate kind of, personal thing that you have with homeowners that you typically don't have in the commercial world. I have with the property management companies, from the area managers down to the property managers and the property manager assistants and all that. So, and that's a lot of things that I'll have people say on some of the commercial stuff that I'll put up as there's no loyalty, there's no that, and I mean and that's true because the entire management company could change and you're left out in the gutter. That can change, but you could also lose homes and all that, and it is more detrimental, to lose like a big apartment complex. But know, like I explained before, when you're in that rotation and you graduate to where you're one of the few handful, you know, companies in a big city where you're in rotation, then it's not an issue anymore. But with that, it's the relationship is, I've done so many homes that, you know, and I've done retail as well, you know, like you, and I've done it for years of my whole life. Just that intimate, personal mentality instead of a lot of the companies that take more of a salesman approach, you know, or like a corporate approach, which kind of used to be a cool thing, and now the nostalgia of a mom and pop kind of, you know, like run business is like back.
Yeah.
You know, like mom and pop is back. Like there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And you know, you see, like I can talk so candidly with them. They talk candidly with me. You think we're friends, and you know, it's because I genuinely like them. They genuinely like me, and if I don't have that rapport with somebody, we kind of just don't go there. You know, so because you know, you want somebody to understand, and it's hard in this line of work doing apartment complexes to get property managers to understand that you are a person, you know, you have families, you employ guys that have families, you know, to take that personal touch, you know, to get it, you know, to have your back because you have their back.
Right.
So that's something this time around, the mentality is totally different, more of a family feel, integrity first kind of thing. And so far it's working for us. So it's gotten us, I think, a long way in a really short time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it firsthand. I mean, it's like you've known these people your whole life, and it's like you've been doing this your whole life. I mean, like, yes, you've been in this industry for a long time, but just today and, you know, the past few years that you've been dealing with these commercial, you know, HOA, like, you know, condos, the big commercial properties like this, it seems like you've been doing it forever. So I still keep, like, asking you, like, really? Like, is this as long as it's been? Because it just seems like it's so natural for you. And it just fits in, but I guess, again, it comes back to what we said, that homeowner mentality relationship that you now have with these people, and it's almost like something switched for you, and you're just killing it now, man. It's no surprise, like I know from experiencing this today why people are like all about it, and I think you're doing a great job, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. It's just, I like people, so it should, you know, it should be, it literally just comes down to that simplistic concept. I like people, and they can tell, and they like don't feel any BS from me whatsoever.
Right.
I have run into so many scenarios where I'm telling them things that they've never heard anybody say to them before, and it's very candid, but very nice, kind, you know, professional, but very honest, and like that really, it sounds weird, but you know, there's not a lot of honesty in like landscape lawn maintenance when it comes to commercial stuff and even residential stuff, you know, but I think that they see it as refreshing. There's nothing insulting about it, and they just like the honesty because they just don't really get that as much as they should. And this is the feedback I get from them.
It's like one of the biggest headaches about all of this, about a company that of your size, multiple crews, employees, these type of commercial properties. I mean, it seems fantastic to me from my perspective, but there's got to be a headache somewhere.
I mean, there's two headaches that only bother me. There's a million headaches, man. But
but that's kind of business, right? You know.
Yeah, I take the perks over the headaches,
right?
You know? But the two biggest problems are employees and resources. So there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I want to do more, and I want to show up and look different than everybody else in a good way. I want them to see things, so like, oh, we're not used to seeing that, you know, because they already see that in our work. We'll show up and we'll have 6 guys when they're used to seeing 8 or 10 guys, and we do way more work than they do in the same amount of time, you know, like, so we want to appease them and show them things that they just don't typically see, at least in our area or around here. So resources, like, it's frustrating when you don't have enough resources to tackle something the way that you want to tackle it.
Right.
That just comes with, you know, capital, that comes with time, you know, time then money, and then, you know, being able to, you know, provide your own resources. But
and like a dump trailer, for example, is a resource.
Oh yeah. So being able to acquire the particular resources that I want, you know, like we want, you know, bobcats, we want all that stuff eventually, you know what I mean? So for now we have to sub things out, we have to rent things and all that stuff, and it's just one step at a time, you know? I mean, I look at 10 steps, you know, and I go, I'm gonna jump to the 10th step. I try and I'll land on my shins, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll just put my feet wherever they land, and then I'll just keep, you know, I'll walk and until the bruising's gone, and then I'll try to jump again. That's literally how I jump into it. But employees is number one, man. I mean, finding really good guys, and I get asked a lot. I get asked a lot from people how to find employees, blah 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 blah. And it's not like we have 200 employees or anything, but it doesn't matter if you're hiring one guy or 10 guys.
Right.
It literally is the same challenge.
Yeah.
And that's just finding guys with values. We've let people go that are amazing workers, amazing guys. I always tell people they work with me, not for me. So they work. They work with us, man. So it's just finding guys that fit that. And like Leah vets them too. Like she meets them, and it's just got to be kind of like we're inviting you, even though we're a business, we're still inviting you into our family.
Yeah.
So because that's how we treat them.
Yeah.
So it's it's challenging because you'll have a lot of people just like real family members that just butt you over, man.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Then resources, and honestly, everything else is awesome, even when it sucks. Like everything else is awesome. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
I don't really have any complaints other than that.
Thanks, man. Thanks for
brother.
having me. It was awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fun, man.
Thanks, man.
Good times.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and click the bell for future notifications. Check back for the next episode in 2 weeks and catch my live show on echomeansbusiness.com every third Wednesday of the month.